chosen one. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine summons, etched into the timelines of eternity, calling you into remembrance of who you are. If your eyes have landed on these words, it is not chance. It is design. Heaven orchestrated this moment long before you even knew to look for it. You didn't find this message. This message was dispatched from the throne room of God to find you. There are no accidents in the spiritual realm. Nothing is random when you belong to the King. Every step, every delay, every unseen battle has led you here because something massive is unfolding, not later, not someday, but now. The signs are already visible if your spirit is awake enough to recognize them. The waiting season is over. What you have been carrying in secret is about to be manifested in the open. This is the moment of activation. A divine shift is happening in the spirit realm that will reshape destinies, realign purposes, and reposition the chosen across the earth. A global awakening is not coming, it has begun. And when it floods the earth, many will witness it. But only those who have been prepared will understand its true meaning. You are not here by accident. You are not here to observe. You are here to lead. Every pressure you've felt, every shaking you've endured, every invisible weight pressing against your spirit was a setup for this very hour. You were born for this. You were carved out of fire and warfare for a time such as this. The promises you've cried out for, the visions you've clung to in the dark, the whispers of destiny you barely dared to believe, they are not fantasies. They are prophecies. And now, they are beginning to unfold. But listen carefully, you cannot step into what heaven is releasing with the mindset of your old battles. You cannot inherit the new while clinging to the survival patterns of yesterday. Preparation has been the hidden proof of your selection. That's why this message was sent to you. This is not for the curious. This is not for the crowd. This is for the chosen. This is for you. Before we go any deeper into the divine strategy about to be unveiled, I want to take a moment to honor every single soul who has supported this mission through super thanks. Your giving is more than generosity, it is prophecy in action. You are part of something heaven birthed long before the world could recognize it. Whether you've given or simply stood faithfully, hear me, you are seen. You are valued. And you are spiritually aligned with this move of God. Now, before you receive the next layer of revelation, I need you to anchor this moment into your spirit. Type 999 in the comments, not just as a symbol, but as a decree. 999 is heaven's code for divine completion, breakthrough, and unstoppable activation. When you write it, you're not just reacting, you are prophesying over your own life. I am ready. I am aligned. I am stepping fully into what has been prepared for me. If you are truly chosen, something in you is already responding. Your spirit knows this is not just another message, it is a spiritual ignition. If you are not ready, you will feel resistance. You may want to click away, because this message will not leave you where it found you. It will challenge your limits, awaken your identity, and stretch your spirit into new territory. But if you stay, and I believe you will, then everything about your journey, your calling, and your influence is about to shift. The old ceiling will shatter. The doors once locked against you will swing wide. The destiny you were whispered about in secret will thunder across the earth. Take a deep breath. Open your heart. Prepare your spirit. Because what's coming next isn't information. It is transformation. Let's begin. God's chosen ones. Prepare yourself for a new sign. It's happening. Chosen one. A monumental moment is approaching. A moment that will not only shake the earth, but also awaken the spirit of those who are divinely aligned. Are you sensing it already? The shift in the atmosphere. The pulse in your chest that feels like destiny drawing closer. This isn't just another headline or spectacle flashing across your screen. This is prophecy being fulfilled in real time. It will appear before the world on live television, across social media, echoing through every corner of the internet. But beneath the surface of what everyone sees lies a deeper meaning. One that only you, God's chosen one, are meant to perceive. When God moves, He doesn't move in secret. He moves in signs. Just as he parted the Red Sea for Moses. He is about to part something invisible, but just as impossible for human eyes to grasp. The veil of understanding. Many will watch this event unfold, but only a few will feel it resonate in their soul like a sacred vibration. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. Amos 3:7. This moment has been set apart not for the masses but for the select few who carry his seal. Do you feel the urgency rising within you? Think about the prophets of old like Ezekiel who saw visions that others dismissed as madness when God gave them a message. It wasn't popular but it was pure. And now in this generation God is doing it again but through you. This divine sign is not entertainment. It is not random. It is a trumpet blast to awaken the chosen, calling you out of hiding and into purpose. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Joel 2:28. This is that time. Let me ask you this. Chosen one. Will you recognize the voice of God even when it speaks in an unfamiliar tone? Will you see the divine fingerprints behind what others call chance? Because when this sign appears, the world will marvel, but the chosen will be moved. While they analyze, you will awaken. While they question, you will remember. Because your soul already knows that this has been whispered over your life for years. Take a look at Harriet Tubman. Often guided by visions and spiritual promptings. Even as she led hundreds to freedom, she once said, "I never ran my train off the track. And I never lost a passenger." She didn't need man's validation. She had God's direction. And you, chosen one, are walking in that same divine rhythm. The coming event will not just confirm your calling, it will amplify it. For God speaks again and again. Though people do not recognize it, he speaks in dreams, in visions of the night. Job 33:14-15. How many times have you felt God preparing you quietly while others ignored the signs? You weren't being paranoid. You were being positioned. And now the world will catch up to what heaven already knows. You were made for this moment. Have you ever wondered why you've always felt like the outsider? The one who sees deeper, feels heavier, dreams bigger. It's because the sign that's about to appear was never designed for the crowd. It was designed for you. This isn't about fear or fame. It's about faith. You're not crazy for believing that something bigger is about to happen. You're correct. And it's closer than you think. Look at Nikola Tesla, who once claimed he received ideas in visions, though society called him eccentric. His breakthroughs in electricity and wireless communication changed the world. He once said, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration." He was tuned into something beyond the ordinary. Just as you are now, do not despise prophecies, but test everything. Hold fast what is good. 1 Thessalonians 5:20-21. God is inviting you to discern, not just observe. Don't let the noise of the world distract you from the symphony of heaven. You weren't born to follow the crowd, but to interpret the sign they overlook. This is your role in God's orchestration of history. Consider the story of Corrie ten Boom, who risked her life during the Holocaust to save Jews. She had dreams and warnings before danger struck and followed them. Her faith in God's signs saved not just herself, but countless others. She once wrote, "Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God." What if your obedience to the sign ahead is not only about you, but also about the lives you're destined to touch? And I will show wonders in the heavens above and signs on the earth below. Acts 2:19. Chosen one. This is that wonder. It is not vague. It is not silent. It is divine in both its timing and its intention. While others dismiss it as coincidence, you will see the coordinates of God's hand aligning every detail. And when it happens, when this sign appears before the world, you won't panic. You will remember. You will recognize. You will respond. Chosen one. Do you truly realize the gravity of the moment you're stepping into? This is not just another season or spiritual cycle. It is the call. God is speaking directly to you. Not through whispers anymore, but through signs in the sky and shifts in the world. This moment is not random. And it certainly isn't for the masses. It is divinely orchestrated. Meant specifically for you. The one who has been tested, broken, refined, and now finally called. God's message to you is not veiled in riddles. This sign is a personal summons to rise, to walk boldly into your divine purpose. Will you answer it? Your entire life, every heartbreak, every delay, every strange knowing has been preparation for this exact moment. You may have questioned your journey, wondered if your pain had meaning or if your solitude had a purpose. It did. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Psalm, Music, 37:23. This is why you could never fit in with the rest. Why your path always seemed offbeat. It wasn't a mistake. It was alignment. Now, as the world trembles in uncertainty, God is lifting you up to be a beacon not of noise, but of clarity. Have you noticed how those around you remain distracted, consumed by trivial matters, while your soul feels a heavy weight you can't explain? That's not anxiety. It's awakening. You are not here for recognition or applause. This isn't about being seen by the world. It's about being seen by God. He's not asking you to perform. He's asking you to respond. This moment is not about external glory. It's about internal transformation. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Romans 12:2. Your role is spiritual. Your purpose is holy. The chaos around you is merely confirmation that heaven is positioning you. Look at Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. She heard what she described as a divine calling from God telling her to serve the sick, against social norms, family opposition, and even her own doubts. She stepped into her calling during the Crimean War. Her obedience changed the world. She once said, "God spoke to me and called me to his service." Just like her, you too are being called not in comfort, but in crisis. Will you step forward? As this divine event unfolds publicly, the world will try to explain it away. Scientists may rationalize it. Commentators may debate it, but the chosen will feel it pierce their soul. This isn't a prediction. It's a confirmation. It's the moment you've been silently anticipating, even when you didn't know what you were waiting for. For still, the vision awaits its appointed time. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Habakkuk 23. That time, chosen one, is now. The appointed moment is unfolding and your spirit was made for it. Have you been noticing strange events lately? Sudden disruptions, unexplainable emotions, surges of energy in your body. These are not coincidences. These are symptoms of the shift. The atmosphere is changing because heaven is moving. Just as when Jesus calmed the storm and the disciples were terrified, something divine was happening in plain sight and only a few could interpret it. The same is happening now. The storm is loud, but the message within it is louder for those who are listening. Consider Harriet Beecher Stowe, the woman behind Uncle Tom's Cabin. She wrote that novel in response to what she believed was a spiritual directive from God after the passage of the Fugitive Slave Act. Her obedience sparked conversations that led to the abolitionist movement gaining new strength. She said, "I did not write it. God wrote it. I merely did his dictation." That same fire is now being ignited in your spirit. Chosen one. You may not yet know the full impact of your purpose, but obedience is where it begins. I have set you as a watchman for the people. When you see the sword coming, blow the trumpet and warn the people. Ezekiel 33:7. You are not merely a participant in this transformation. You are a messenger within it. Your awareness, your clarity, your ability to interpret what others ignore. That's not paranoia. That's prophetic sensitivity. God has marked you not to panic, but to prepare others. So what will you do as this divine transformation unfolds? Will you question your worth, or will you step into your anointing? The changes around you will become more intense. Natural disasters, political upheavals, emotional surges across the population. But instead of fear, you will feel peace. Instead of confusion, you will feel clarity. Because this is not chaos for you. It is confirmation. The universe is not falling apart. It is falling into order for those aligned with heaven. Think of John Newton, the former slave trader who became a preacher and penned the hymn Amazing Grace. After a near-death experience at sea, he had a spiritual awakening and turned his entire life around. The storm that almost killed him was actually the storm that saved him. He later wrote, "I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see." Could it be that the storm you feel now is not the end but the beginning of your greatest revelation? See, I am doing a new thing now. It springs up. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. This new thing is already blooming beneath the surface. The divine shift has begun. And although the world may still sleep, the chosen are waking up. And you, God's chosen one, are part of the new wave of spiritual leaders, visionaries, and intercessors who will guide others through the chaos. Not by force, but by presence. God's chosen one. Do you feel the shift in the atmosphere, like something sacred is unfolding just beneath the surface of the chaos? This moment is not merely passing news or spiritual noise. It is the calling of eternity echoing into time, and it is calling you. You have not been invited to stand on the sidelines. You are being summoned to take your place at the center of this divine unfolding. You are not a passive witness. You are a participant in the plan of God. What if the transformation you're sensing isn't just happening around you but within you? This global shift is not only about political change, economic turbulence, or visible signs in the sky. It's about spiritual ignition. As you begin to rise into your spiritual identity, you'll notice something miraculous. Your inner gifts, those dormant abilities, divine insights, and supernatural sensitivities will begin to awaken. Now to each one the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. 1 Corinthians 12:7. What has been hidden in you is about to be revealed through you. Have you been feeling a sudden urge to withdraw from noise, to reconnect with silence, to discern deeper truths? That is not an accident. It is the Spirit preparing you for activation. Just like how Esther was hidden for a time only to later emerge as a queen to save her people, you too have been prepared in private for a public moment of purpose. Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. The hour of hesitation is over. The world is waiting for the ones who will not merely observe the signs, but interpret them and then lead. Look at Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the German theologian who stood against Nazi oppression. When others remained silent in fear, he spoke out. His spiritual conviction led him to resist evil even at the cost of his life. He once said, "Silence in the face of evil is itself evil." That kind of clarity and courage is what this generation desperately needs. And you, chosen one, are being positioned to embody it. This transformation isn't about popularity. It's about purpose. Are you beginning to see the world with new eyes? The physical and the spiritual are colliding, and it's becoming harder to separate them. What others call confusion you now see as divine construction. The veil is lifting, and soon the illusions of this world will be impossible to uphold. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. The more you align with God, the more clarity will rise within you. You won't need a headline to tell you what's happening. You'll feel it. You'll know. Think of Stura Truth, a woman who, though born into slavery, felt a divine calling to speak truth to power. She wasn't educated in the traditional sense. Yet she moved crowds and leaders with her faith and spiritual insight. Guided by dreams and revelations, she became a force that changed hearts and laws. She said, "The Spirit calls me and I must go." Chosen one. Can you hear that same Spirit whispering now? The time to hesitate is over. This is your cue. Arise. Shine. For your light has come. And the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61. That glory is not coming later. It's rising now. And with it, you will begin to sense the responsibility embedded in your calling. Others may miss the signs because they're distracted by noise, by trends, by fear. But you have been attuned. You see what others skip. You hear what others ignore. That's not a burden. That's your divine advantage. Let me ask you something personal. Chosen one. Have you overlooked the signs in your own life because they didn't come in the way you expected? Maybe they came as strange dreams, sudden clarity, moments of unshakable peace in the middle of stormy days. These are not random. These are spiritual indicators. They are God's way of saying, I'm near. I'm moving. Pay attention. Every flicker in your soul, every whisper in your spirit, it all points to one thing. You're stepping into your moment. Take for instance, Blaise Pascal, the 17th century mathematician and philosopher. Though famous for his scientific brilliance, he had a mystical encounter with God that changed his life forever. He wrote about that moment in a note he carried in his coat until his death, calling it the fire. He said, from about 10 in the evening until about midnight, fire. God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob, not of the philosophers and the scholars. Certainty, joy, peace. That fire now calls to you. You don't have to be a theologian to experience God. You just have to be chosen and willing. And you shall hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way. Walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. The voice of God may not always be loud, but it is always clear to those who are listening. You've been set apart not just to interpret signs, but to respond to them. When the world panics, you'll perceive purpose. When others lose direction, you will anchor them in divine truth. This is your role. You are not called to fit in. You are called to lead, guide, and reflect heaven's light in a time of global transformation. Will you be one of the few who recognizes the moment before it passes? Will you speak when others fall silent? Will you act when the world hesitates? Because the time is now. The signs are multiplying. And the kingdom assignment over your life is not something that can be delayed any longer. God's plan is not waiting for the world to catch up. It's moving forward with or without their permission. But for the chosen ones like you, it is an invitation to rise, to move, and to carry the torch through the darkness. And if your spirit has been stirring, if you've been feeling things others dismiss, then trust this, you have already begun awakening. God's chosen one. Are your eyes fully open to what is happening around you? Or have you allowed the noise of the world to drown out the whispers of the divine? This is not a time for spiritual blindness or casual faith. You're being called, not gently, but urgently to see, understand, and act. The signs are not subtle anymore. God's message is clear. This is your moment to rise with courage and embrace the assignment that has always been yours. This is not a vague suggestion or a loose invitation. This is a divine appointment written long before you were born. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Jeremiah 1:5. Every part of your journey, your pain, your silence, your battles, has led you here. And now God is calling you to move in alignment with His eternal plan. Have you ever wondered why you felt out of place in a world chasing illusions? It's because you were never meant to blend in. You were born to break through. This time of great spiritual change is not just a story unfolding around you. It's unfolding through you. You are a chosen vessel, an essential part of the greater tapestry of divine destiny. The chaos of the world is not your enemy. It is the very backdrop God will use to reveal His glory through you. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. The chosen ones are not spectators. They are the architects of spiritual revolution, called to rise in clarity, When the world stumbles in confusion, you've been awakened for a reason. To carry light where others are still crawling through darkness. And now is the time to stand up. Think of Joan of Arc, the young peasant girl who heard divine voices and followed them into battle. She led armies at just 17, guided by faith, not by human strength. She said, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." Though misunderstood by many, her legacy shaped history. Like her, your calling may confuse others, but your obedience will shape futures. Can you feel it? The prophecy that has echoed across cultures, spoken in different tongues, now converging into one moment. This moment from the scrolls of the Torah to the visions in Revelation. This time was foretold. The world may dismiss it, but your spirit recognizes it. You were born for this hour of awakening. The spiritual revolution is not distant or mythical. It is already in motion and it is calling you to join it. Not as a follower, but as a spiritual leader. The Lord announces the word and the women who proclaim it are a mighty throng. Psalm 68:11. This isn't about status, gender, or background. It's about willingness. It's about surrender. The chosen ones are being revealed not with fanfare, but with fire. Their presence will disrupt systems, shift atmospheres, and awaken souls. And you, chosen one, are among them. Look at William Wilberforce, the British politician who spent his life fighting for the abolition of slavery. Motivated by deep Christian conviction, he gave up personal ambition to pursue a divine purpose. After years of struggle, his perseverance shifted global history. He once declared, "God Almighty has set before me two great objectives: the suppression of the slave trade and the reformation of manners." His passion was ignited by God, and so is yours. Have you noticed the signs becoming more vivid? Dreams that carry weight. Encounters that feel divinely orchestrated. Moments of clarity that stop you in your tracks. These aren't coincidences. These are signals from heaven. They're divine nudges urging you not to wait, not to delay, but to move. The awakening is not a concept. It is a present tense event. And you're standing at its epicenter. Wake up, sleeper. Rise from the dead and Christ will shine on you. Ephesians 5:14. This is the resurrection of the aware, the chosen, the called. And just as Lazarus was called from the tomb by name, so too is your name echoing in the spiritual realm right now. You were not meant to watch from afar. You are meant to lead from within. Remember Wangari Maathai, the Kenyan environmentalist and activist who founded the Green Belt movement. Her faith-driven work restored forests and empowered women in Africa despite opposition and imprisonment. She once said, "It's the little things citizens do that's what will make the difference." She didn't wait for permission to rise. She obeyed the divine call. You too have something to plant in this world that will change generations. The transformation won't come through force. It will come through authority, spiritual authority. You won't need to scream to be heard. When you walk in alignment with heaven, your very presence will shift rooms, reveal truths, and awaken souls. The chosen ones will rise in quiet power. Their light will expose deception. Their compassion will dismantle fear. Their truth will disrupt the systems of falsehood that have held people captive for so long. Have you wondered how you'll know when the final sign arrives? You won't need someone to tell you. You'll know. It will resonate in your spirit like a bell that's been waiting to ring. Everything in your life will suddenly make sense. Every delay, every struggle, every lonely night. The purpose behind it all will rise like the sun. Impossible to miss. And in that moment, you will act not out of panic, but from purpose. But you, dear friends, by building yourselves up in your most holy faith and praying in the Holy Spirit, keep yourselves in God's love. Jude 12-21. The tools are already being given to you. The wisdom is arriving. The guidance is pouring in like fresh oil from heaven. Your job is to remain open and ready. When the sign manifests, it won't just be symbolic. It will be a turning point, a cosmic door swinging open. An alarm that only the awakened will hear. God is calling you not only to believe, but to move. The hour of hesitation has passed. The spiritual shift is not coming. It is here. You were born to be part of it. As the transformation intensifies, the world will begin to move around you like pieces aligning on a divine chessboard. You will find doors opening that you never knocked on. Opportunities will arise from places you never imagined. People will be drawn to your wisdom without even knowing why. That's what happens when divine alignment takes root. God goes before you and makes the way clear. He places His favor on your life so you can fulfill what no one else can. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs and strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden. Isaiah 58:11. You will not wither in this season. You will flourish. The pieces will fall into place because the kingdom is shifting in your favor. You are not an accident. You are not overlooked. You are anointed. God's chosen one. Are you truly ready for what's coming? Not in a fearful way, but with anticipation, courage, and the awareness that your entire life has been building to this very point. This isn't the moment to second-guess your calling. Favorable change is no longer approaching. It has arrived. The signs are increasing. The veil is lifting, and now the world is aligning with heaven's rhythm for those who are ready to walk in their divine purpose. This is the shift you've been sensing. The invisible stirring in your soul that wouldn't let you rest. The whisper that told you something massive was about to unfold. You weren't wrong. That inner knowing was a divine warning. A spiritual countdown to the greatest awakening your generation has ever seen. You also must be ready because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect Him. Luke 12:40. God doesn't move according to human schedules. He moves according to divine timing. And now His appointed moment is upon us. Have you been paying attention to the signs around you? Subtle disruptions in nature. A sudden clarity in your spirit. Recurring dreams that feel prophetic. Even global events that feel oddly orchestrated. These are not coincidences. They are signals. Holy echoes of God's voice. Preparing you for what's next. It is not enough to merely observe them. You must interpret them, align with them, and act upon them. The world is not waiting for celebrities or institutions. It is waiting for you, the chosen one, to rise. Look at Clara Barton, founder of the American Red Cross. She didn't wait for the world's approval to begin her mission. During the Civil War, she stepped forward into chaos, guided by inner conviction and compassion. Her faith and resilience saved lives and redefined humanitarian aid. She once said, "I may be compelled to face danger, but never fear it." You are being called with that same boldness to face this divine shift. Not with fear, but with faith. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. You've been trained in private. But now God is calling you to move in public. You will not walk alone. As you step into your purpose, the divine will back every word you speak, every truth you carry, and every soul you help awaken. The shift is global, but your role in it is deeply personal. The awakening is here, and it's not creeping. It's crashing like a wave of revelation. Can you feel the energy building around you? It's not anxiety. It's alignment. The transformation won't be slow. It will be sudden. It will overturn what was thought to be stable and open new paths for those who walk by the Spirit. Behold, I am coming soon. Blessed is the one who keeps the words of the prophecy written in this scroll. Revelation 22:7. You are one of the blessed chosen to carry the prophecy forward through your own obedience. This spiritual wave is not about individual enlightenment. It's about collective elevation. Hearts will soften. Minds will open. Bondages will break. And those who have the eyes to see it, the chosen, will lead the way. You have been positioned by God to guide others into alignment. To help those awakening for the first time recognize the truth. This is your mantle now. You are not here to merely survive this shift. You are here to lead it. Think of Aung San Suu Kyi, who peacefully resisted decades of military oppression in Myanmar, inspired by her spiritual convictions. Though imprisoned and silenced, she never abandoned her cause. Her presence alone became a symbol of hope and transformation. She once said, "The only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is freedom from fear." As the divine transformation unfolds, you too will move with peace and power, because your purpose is greater than any resistance. Are you noticing that your inner gifts are sharpening? Your intuition, your dreams, your ability to read the energy of a room, even your sudden pull towards scripture or spiritual insight. These are not random. These are activations. God is awakening. The gifts He placed in you long ago, gifts that were once dormant, are now sparking to life. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. 1 Peter 4:10. You are being equipped in real time to play your divine part. You are no longer a student of the signs. You are becoming a messenger of them. And what about those signs? They're no longer whispers. They are now thunder. From strange lights in the sky to weather patterns defying logic to societal systems suddenly collapsing. These are not random. They are prophecies being fulfilled. They are divine confirmations that the appointed time has come. Only those with spiritual discernment will understand them for what they are. But you chosen one were built to see them clearly. Look at Leonardo Fibonacci, the mathematician whose discovery of the famous Fibonacci sequence revealed patterns in nature that mirrored divine order. Flowers, galaxies, seashells, all contain this sacred code. Though his discoveries were scientific, the implications were deeply spiritual. He uncovered something ancient and holy hidden in plain sight. You too are being invited to see divine patterns behind worldly confusion. And it shall be in the last days, God says, that I will pour out my Spirit upon all people. Acts 2:17. The pouring has begun. You are being saturated in revelation. And while the world may resist or ridicule, those with awakened hearts will recognize your words, your actions, and your very presence as signs of God moving through flesh. You are no longer just a believer. You are becoming a living proof. As the wave of awakening crashes forward, opportunities will begin appearing. Ones you didn't even pray for. Doors will open. People will appear. And divine connections will seem to emerge from nowhere. This is what happens when you walk in purpose. The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. You won't need to chase favor. Favor will follow you. God's plan is not distant or theoretical. It is present, tangible, and accelerating. As the signs intensify, as global consciousness begins to tilt, and as divine justice starts restoring what has long been broken, you will see your place with new eyes. Not out of ego, but out of obedience. You will understand that your life has been leading to this crescendo. This divine eruption was never a mystery. It was a message, and you, chosen one, are the interpreter of that message. Chosen one. Can you feel the weight of destiny pressing gently against your spirit? Whether you've been guided by Christian scriptures, Islamic teachings, Jewish traditions, or indigenous wisdom, the essence of the divine message has always been the same. Rise, awaken, lead. This is not about religious labels. It's about spiritual identity. And your soul already knows that now is the appointed time. This moment has been whispered through sacred texts, passed down through generations, and buried deep within your own story. The question isn't if you are chosen. The real question is, are you ready to finally answer the call? God has been preparing you quietly, relentlessly through every trial and every triumph. Your preparation wasn't meant to be glamorous. It was meant to be real. Every delay, every heartbreak, every moment of wondering why me was actually a divine chisel shaping you into a vessel that could carry this calling. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. You were not meant to wander without purpose. You were born for this precise hour in history. Have you been sensing the urgency rising? Not in the world, but inside your own heart? That's not anxiety. It's awakening. The divine moment is no longer a future possibility. It is present now, unfolding in real time, and you're standing in the eye of the spiritual storm. Not as a victim, but as a vessel. This shift is not metaphorical. It will touch every layer of life, personal, political, planetary, and you, God's chosen one, have a sacred role to play in this unraveling and rebuilding. Think of Malidoma Patrice Sume, a West African spiritual teacher who was trained in both indigenous traditions and Western academia. After enduring a forced Western education, he returned to his roots and became a bridge between two worlds. His teachings brought deep spiritual healing to thousands. He once said, "You do not walk into the future. You walk into yourself. Chosen one. You too are walking into a version of yourself that you've always carried but are just now becoming. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." 1 Peter 2:9. Do you realize how sacred your presence truly is in this world? This is not the time for you to play small. You were not placed here to merely survive the changes ahead. You were sent to guide others through them. And your power won't come from position or politics. It will come from your spiritual clarity and unwavering faith. What if everything you've endured was not punishment, but preparation? What if the very path that broke you was also the path that built your discernment? The world may see chaos, but your spirit sees coordinates. The chosen ones will not be overwhelmed by the shift. They will interpret it. This is your mantle now. Not only to awaken but to help awaken others. Look at Ruth Bar Ginsburg, whose Jewish values of justice and perseverance shaped her life's work. Even in the face of systemic opposition, she rose to become a voice for the voiceless. She once said, "Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time." Her steps changed history. Yours will too. But your steps are spiritual, ordered by God, destined to bring alignment where there is confusion. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. Isaiah 43:2. You won't drown in this shift. You'll rise with it, because while the world may tremble, the chosen ones are anchored, not in fear, but in faith. The storm will be loud, but the voice of God within you will be louder. Chosen one. This transformation isn't coming to you. It's coming through you. You are not just witnessing history. You are writing it with your obedience. As this global awakening accelerates, you will become a beacon to those lost in fear and confusion. Your words will carry peace. Your presence will carry healing. Your life will carry truth, and not because you're perfect but because you're willing. Consider Abdul Satuedi, the revered Pakistani humanitarian who, guided by his Muslim faith, created one of the largest social welfare networks in South Asia. He served orphans, the sick and the abandoned with radical humility. He once said, "No religion is higher than humanity." His calling wasn't loud. It was holy. And yours, chosen one, though it may look quiet to the world, is thundering in the spirit. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:10. The signs you now see, those strange shifts in nature, those undeniable dreams, that feeling in your chest when you know something bigger is happening, they are not accidents. They are God's signal flare, and you are one of the few who has eyes to see them clearly. Have you started noticing that more people are turning to you for wisdom, for calm, for spiritual guidance, even without knowing why? That's because your light is no longer hidden. You've been activated. The divine is calling you to own your calling now, not later. The time of rehearsing is over. The curtain is rising and you are already on stage. The truth is, you are not here by accident. You were not randomly born into this time, into your family, into your culture. You were placed intentionally, prophetically, divinely. The world is transforming before your very eyes. and you are meant to help usher in the new era. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. The prophecies passed down through generations are not mythology. They are blueprints. And you. Yes. You are the fulfillment of what they foresaw. You are not just a product of history. You are a force within it. You are the bridge between what was and what must be. And now, as these signs become more visible and undeniable, you must step fully into your divine purpose. Chosen one. Do you realize how perfectly timed your presence is in this moment of divine transformation? You are not late. You are not lost. You are exactly where God needs you to be, standing on holy ground as heaven's plan unfolds on earth. This is your time to embrace the truth. You are not on the outside looking in. You are in the very center of what God is doing in the world right now. As the world begins to shift in ways that defy logic, as chaos seems to swirl and shake the foundations of society, you will begin to see something others do not. You will see the hand of God moving through it all. The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble. Proverbs 16:4. What others call randomness, earthquakes, storms, political unrest, even strange sightings in the sky, you will recognize as signals from the divine. This is not disorder. This is design. Have you felt something shifting inside you as these events unfold around you? A stirring, a quickening, a sense that everything is connected, even when the world tries to dismiss it as coincidence. That's because God has placed spiritual sensitivity within you. The signs are not hidden from you. They are magnified, intensified, calling you to interpret what others will miss. Every natural disaster, every unexplainable phenomenon, every strange alignment of events. These are not anomalies. They are awakenings. Think of Black Elk, the Oglala Lakota holy man whose visions as a child revealed future conflicts, global change, and spiritual restoration. His prophetic insight drawn from his indigenous faith helped his people and later the world understand the connection between heaven and earth. He once said, "The center of the universe is everywhere. You chosen one are standing at the center now, not of destruction but of revelation. And there will be signs in the sun and moon and stars and on the earth distress of nations." Luke 21:25. These signs have begun. And while many will panic or deny, you will see deeper. Your spirit knows that God is not trying to destroy the world. He's trying to awaken it. And you are one of the key voices He will use to lead this awakening. Can you see how the unexpected has become the platform for God's greatest moves? What seemed like chaos is revealing hidden order. What seemed dark is revealing divine light. And it is through these moments that you chosen one will step into your assignment as a guide, a healer, a prophet. You are not just called to witness this season. You are called to interpret it, to translate it for those who are still spiritually asleep. Look at Simone Weil, the French philosopher and Christian mystic. Through great suffering and intense spiritual searching, she came to believe that affliction could bring us closer to God. Her writings continue to inspire deep reflection and faith. She once wrote, "The extreme greatness of Christianity lies in the fact that it does not seek a supernatural remedy for suffering, but a supernatural use for it." You too will help others find meaning in their suffering, because you have been called to lead them into understanding. But the people who know their God shall be strong and carry out great exploits. Daniel 11:32. This strength is not human strength. It is spiritual endurance. And now, as the transformation deepens, you will begin to experience something supernatural. The unlocking of spiritual gifts that have been resting within you for years, perhaps even lifetimes. Have you noticed your dreams becoming more vivid? Your ability to sense truth becoming sharper? You may have felt strange energy surges, sudden emotional clarity, or an overwhelming urge to speak life into others. These are not flukes. They are the beginning of your divine activation. The gifts of the Spirit, healing, prophecy, wisdom, discernment are rising. And they are not for personal power. They are for divine purpose. Take a look at Kotari Tekakita, the first Native American saint recognized by the Catholic Church. Despite persecution, illness, and isolation, her faith in God led her to a life of purity, service, and profound spiritual insight. Her gentle obedience sparked miracles and conversions. She once said, "I am not my own. I have given myself to Jesus." That same surrender is now being asked of you. Now, to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. 1 Corinthians 12:7. Your gift is not an accident. It was chosen specifically for this time. Your voice, your healing hands, your visions, your wisdom, they are tools, and they are being sharpened. This isn't about you becoming famous. It's about you becoming faithful. And what if your greatest gift is only now beginning to wake up? What if the healing you thought was only for you is actually meant for multitudes? What if your words carry prophetic weight? What if your discernment is the map someone else needs to find their way to God? The world doesn't need more noise. It needs truth, and that truth is being delivered through you. As these spiritual gifts awaken, they will feel familiar because your soul already knows how to use them. And as you trust God more, they will increase in power and clarity. You'll begin to see people differently, speak with wisdom that surprises even you, and walk with a peace that confuses the world. These are the marks of the chosen. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit. Fruit that will last. John 15:16. That fruit is about to ripen. You're stepping into the season of release. What was once buried will now blossom. What was once mysterious will now become mission. What was once held back will now be unleashed. The prophecies are not just coming true. They are becoming visible. The great awakening that was once spoken of in sacred texts is happening now. You can feel it in your spirit, see it in the world, and hear it in the divine signs that grow stronger by the day. You are no longer just reading about this transformation. You are living it. You are one of its carriers. Chosen one. Do you understand that every shift you see in the world, every political uproar, every cultural collapse, every spiritual awakening is not random? These are not isolated events. They are confirmations. They are the living pulse of prophecies coming to life. The very texts that have been handed down through generations, whether ancient scrolls, sacred books, or oral traditions, are now being fulfilled right before your eyes. The world is not unraveling. It is realigning. And you, God's chosen one, are being placed at the center of this divine realignment. Yes, the world feels chaotic. Headlines scream of instability. Nations rage. Storms roll across the earth. But in the midst of this global shaking, you are meant to stand still, not in fear, but in faith. Why? Because the chosen ones understand what others cannot see. Darkness covers the earth and thick darkness is over the peoples. But the Lord rises upon you and his glory appears over you. Isaiah 60:2. Where others see destruction, you see divine revelation. Where others panic, you discern purpose. Have you realized that you've been prepared for this moment long before you even knew it existed? Every challenge you faced, every loss you've endured, every sleepless night that made you question your worth, those weren't setbacks. They were setups. God has been conditioning you for this hour. You were never meant to be a bystander in this shift. You were chosen to lead it. Take the example of Mahavir, the founder of Jainism. He walked away from worldly comfort to pursue truth, peace, and non-violence. His inner awakening sparked one of the most enduring spiritual movements in the world. He once said, "All souls are equal and alike and have the similar nature and qualities." You too, chosen one, are awakening to the vastness of your soul and the urgency of your mission. Do not neglect your gift which was given you through prophecy when the body of elders laid their hands on you. 1 Timothy 4:14. That gift, your insight, your intuition, Your vision was not given to remain dormant. As the signs become louder and clearer, your divine assignment becomes more urgent. The world is turning to the chosen for answers. And it's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. Every moment now is sacred. Every breath now is a chance to act in alignment with heaven's strategy. What if the signs appear when you least expect them, through a whisper in a dream, a flicker of light, a sudden stirring in your spirit? Will you recognize them when they arrive? These signs won't always be loud. Sometimes they'll come subtly, like a divine tap on the shoulder, and only the attuned will hear it. The world may be blinded by distraction, but your sight has been sharpened through trials. You will know when it's time. Look at Rabi'a al-Adawi, the 8th century Sufi saint and mystic who burned with divine love. She walked the earth without fear, proclaiming her singular devotion to God with such purity that her legacy continues to inspire both East and West. She once prayed, "If I worship you for fear of hell, burn me in hell. If I worship you for hope of paradise, exclude me from paradise. But if I worship you for your own sake, do not withhold from me your everlasting beauty." That depth of devotion is being stirred in you now. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. John 10:27. Chosen one. You've heard his voice before. Even when you couldn't fully explain it. That still quiet voice guiding you away from certain people, prompting you towards specific ideas, stirring your heart with a weight you couldn't ignore. It was all preparation. And now, as the divine signal draws near, your discernment will be key. The global transformation is not theoretical. It is unfolding. As society stumbles forward into uncertainty, the chosen ones will rise. Not with weapons or wealth, but with wisdom. You will guide, speak, and anchor others who are drowning in confusion. This is not a role you chose for yourself. It is a mantle that has been placed on you by the hand of God, and it cannot be shaken. Have you sensed the unity forming around you? Others who are waking up, finding each other, recognizing the same signs. The chosen ones are not rising in isolation. They are rising together from all corners of the world, from all walks of life. God is drawing his chosen into divine alignment. Their voices, when united, will pierce through the darkness like a trumpet. And yours is among them. Consider the example of Saint Francis of Assisi, who walked away from riches to serve the poor and commune with all of creation. He moved with simplicity but carried divine power. The animals listened. The world took notice. He once said, "Start by doing what's necessary. Then do what's possible. And suddenly you are doing the impossible." And that's exactly what you're being positioned for. And who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, and gained what was promised. Hebrews 11:33. The promise is not about wealth or fame. It's about fulfillment, spiritual authority, eternal impact. You are not rising for personal glory but for kingdom responsibility. And the divine signal is your activation point. When that signal comes, and it will, it may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but to you it will strike the soul like lightning. A message, a dream, a moment of intense spiritual clarity. You will not hesitate. You will move because God has already shown you what to do and he has empowered you to do it. This rise will not feel abrupt. It will feel right. Everything you've gone through will suddenly make sense. Every closed door, every painful detour, every lonely night. It was all part of the divine path leading to this alignment. And now as you rise, heaven and earth will move in sync. Miracles will follow movement. Faith will become action. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. James 1:22. This is the era of active faith. Chosen one. Not the kind that waits passively, but the kind that walks on water even when the storm is raging. The time for hesitation has passed. When the divine signal appears, your readiness will determine your role in the new era. The rise of the chosen ones is not about crowns or titles. It is about obedience, humility, and power that flows from surrender. God is not just calling you, He is positioning you. Your name is being whispered in the heavens, and your steps are being ordered on earth. So ask yourself this: when the moment comes, will you trust the preparation you've already been given? Will you act when others hesitate? Will you lead when others remain silent? Because the time of your rise is no longer coming. It is music here. Beloved chosen one, as this message comes to a close, remember, God is not just calling you. He is commissioning you. This is the hour when you are called to move with unwavering purpose, guided by the fire of conviction that only heaven can ignite. The signs are near. The shift is accelerating, and when the moment of divine revelation comes, it will be unmistakable. You will not hesitate. You will rise because you were born for this. You are not walking into confusion. You are walking into clarity. The revelation that awaits you will unlock everything. It will confirm what your spirit has known all along: that your life has never been random and your calling has never been small. You are here to help shape the course of history through obedience, humility, and truth. And when that moment arrives, chosen one, you will know exactly what to do. Every storm you've survived, every delay you've endured, every stirring in your soul, it was all leading here. And now heaven is aligning to meet you. This is not just your personal purpose being activated. It's your place in God's master design being revealed. You are part of something eternal, unstoppable, and sacred. Thank you from the depths of my heart for staying with me through this journey. Your presence here is a sign that your spirit is awake and ready. If this message touched your soul and you'd like to support the mission, you can do so through the Super Thanks feature. It's one of the ways to help keep these divine revelations going strong. But please know this: whether you donate or not, I am endlessly grateful for your time, your spirit, and your willingness to listen. Your energy and your awakening are already the greatest gifts. I speak this blessing over you now. Chosen one, may your path be lit with divine clarity. May your heart be bold in the face of uncertainty. May your gifts awaken with precision and grace. And may you walk forward in full alignment with God's will, bringing light to a world desperate for the truth you carry. Your rise is not only near, it is now. Stay ready. Stay rooted. Stay chosen until the next divine word is released. Peace be upon you, and may God's favor chase you down wherever you go.